Hi everyone, I'm Abhinav, the founder and CEO of Postman. I wish I could be there in Amsterdam for the API Days event, but unfortunately I couldn't get the travel visa in time. We love APIs at Postman. APIs are the building blocks of modern software, and we are working hard to help you build them faster and easier. Starting from a humble REST client in 2014, Postman has graduated to become a complete API dev environment with more than 4 million users across the world. We cover everything from designing to publishing APIs through our desktop apps, command line tools, and cloud services. All these are available to you for free, and I hope they help you in building amazing things during the event. In a quick demo, I'd like to show you a look at some of our latest features. We are going to cover mock servers, documentation, and test automation. So I'm sure you're familiar with the basic Postman interface for sending requests and receiving responses. But starting with version 5.3, we have a shiny new button on the top left, and that gives access to amazing features for you in Postman. So I'm going to hit this button, and I see this window open up. You'll see a bunch of options at the top that tell you about the basic entities in Postman. And at the bottom, you'll see certain advanced features that are now available in Postman to you for free, like creating documentation, mock servers, and monitors. So I'm going to go ahead and create a mock server in this example. Mock servers let you simulate a real API. They do that using the examples feature in Postman collections. I'm going to create a simple mock server here for a test endpoint. Let me add a basic response here. I'm going to go ahead and click next and name this API days. And that's it. So I've created a mock server whose URL is this, and I also created a collection that backs up this mock server. And of course, I can add more and more requests to it and more examples to it to make the mock server more and more complete. So I'm going to close this and show you how this works in Postman. So I have the mock URL here. I'm going to send a test request, and the response that I entered there comes back in Postman. Now, if I want to edit this response, I'm going to open the request and go to the example section. You find that on the top right. And let me convert this to JSON quickly. And I'm going to add a content type here. And that's it. The mock server should be updated. When I send this request, I get the updated response back. So super easy to create a mock server. Now, as you go about building your APIs, you often need good documentation, and that's built right into Postman. So you have Markdown for adding documentation at the collection level. You can add folders to collections, and then of course add documentation at the request level. So I'm going to create this. Now, of course, documentation is available to you in the Postman browser, but if you hit the View in Web button, you're going to get this in a web page, and you can share that with your team, and they can see examples here. They can change the language within the browser, or they can come to Postman and choose the code generation languages that we have in Postman. Now, along with documentation and mock servers in Postman, you can easily add tests to each of your requests. Postman has a full-fledged runtime to help you author pretty detailed tests. I'm going to create a simple one and show you how it works. So you have the tests tab here. I'm going to choose a snippet from the right-hand side. Let's choose a simple one. And here the response time should be less than 500 milliseconds, and that's when the test will pass. Let me send this request. You see the test results in the bottom section on the test results tab, and in this case the request passed. If it fails, this will be a failed test, and this really couples your debugging process with your test automation process. If you want to run the whole collection together, you can use the collection runner that you access on the top left, and this way you can choose a collection, enter an environment, and also add custom CSV or JSON files if you want. So if you run a collection in the runner, you can access reports for that run and see how the run went. And in some cases, like I have here, you might want to go back to Postman and fix your tests, or maybe if your API is not working, probably you might want to fix that. You can run these tests in the command line using a test automation tool we have called Newman. You can couple that with your CI/CD pipeline, or you could schedule them as monitors, and we'll check whether your APIs are working or not from our hosted cloud service. So all of these tools are available to you in the newest versions of Postman, and I hope you like using them, and hopefully they're useful for you in this event.